Hi there, it's Sally from Rickety Snippets here, and today I've got a really fun egg-shaped box to show you, which you can use for Easter. So you could use it to store your Easter ephemera, or you could give it to someone with some chocolate eggs inside, or you could keep it and put some chocolate eggs inside for yourself. So we've got lots of bits of kind of fairly grungy Easter ephemera to go in it, and we're going to make up an envelope as well to put some of that ephemera in, and there's a pocket inside as well. So I'm going to start by just clearing away these bits, which are going to go inside the box, and I just need the pieces of the box itself. Okay, so first things first, all the printables are available from the Rickety Snippet shop, and the link for that is below. I've printed everything onto 200 GSM cardstock. And when you print out, you'll see that all the parts are labelled, so you know where they go. But if they get separated from those descriptions, it's fine, because I'm going to show you how to identify them as we go along. I'm going to start by putting together the top of the box. So we need our chick, which is the top, and then 3 side pieces. And I need to put some score lines in these. So I'm going to grab my cutting board and a ruler and something to score with. We'll start with the sides. We need to score along this central line, so right down the middle there. And we're not scoring the tabs, they're just to join one piece to another. So down the middle. And with those pieces, I'm just going to fold in to the line and then back the other way, and then give them a smooth with the bone folder. Okay, and before we do anything else, I'm just going to put a gentle kind of curve into these. So with the eggs facing downwards, I'm just running them through my fingers like that. If you're a bit nervous about paper cuts, you can do it by holding the piece, or putting the piece on your cutting mat or table, holding your bone folder over the top, and then just kind of pull it up like that. It's a bit like when you're making ribbons for something, like curly ribbons on a present. But we don't want them to be quite that curly. So again with this one. Yeah, you see it's just getting a gentle curve there, which will just help us when we come to putting it together. There we go. Okay, so we're going to stick those pieces together. So we have our shortest piece is piece 1, and it has a 1 there on the tab. This piece is piece 2, also has a number there, and then the final piece isn't numbered. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on the tab with the 1 on it. So we don't want any glue on that bottom tab. Just this first one. A good bit of glue to hold it all together. And then I'm going to line up that second piece. Stick that on. I've kind of nudged it a little bit so it's over the line, so that you get a more seamless kind of pattern there. I'm just checking. When you fold it up, you can see whether the two are really well aligned. And then I'm going to do the same with tab 2 here. Bit of glue right up to the line. And I'm going to line that egg pattern up on our final piece of the side there. Okay. So I've put quite a lot of glue on that, so I'm just going to leave that to dry for a little bit, because we want that to be really secure when we come to be putting the whole thing together. And then I'm going to take this piece, and I need to score all the way around the edge of this piece too. So we're going to follow, there's a line around the egg shape. So we're just going to follow that line around with our scoring tool. This is just a kind of pointy knitting needle, which is quite does the trick. So follow the line as best you can. If you do go off it, don't worry, just go back and go back to the line, do it again. So there's a little bit off there. So you don't want to be pressing too hard when you're doing this, just a nice bit of pressure so that you do get, it's kind of made an impression on the paper so you can see it and feel it a bit. So just give us a nice fold on that. And then I'm going to flip it over and you should be able to see that impression on this side. And I'm going to ink just around the area of that line. So this should cover up any areas if we've cut our lining a little bit wonky. Hopefully we'll get away with it. Go. And then on the other side, I'm going to cut into these tabs. So we already have the tabs, but we want to cut about 4 lines on each of these. Make 4 cut lines. So I'm cutting right up to the line there, but not crossing the line. So you want to take a little bit of time on this. There we go. So what we're going to do next is just kind of fold these in, fold them back on themselves to form our egg shape. So as you're going along, just kind of, well, tuck them in, but if you're getting any pointy areas, just kind of go back over them, roll over with your fingers. Yeah, and then so I'm just going to put some ink around those edges, or that edge. And I also want to put some ink along the top and bottom here as well. So this edge, and also on this side as well. So I'll do that all the way along. There we go. So now we can put the two together. So we want the eggs facing downwards, so the eggs will be kind of touching the mat or the table. And then we're going to put glue over these tabs. So I'm going to just hold the tab down and put glue over all of them, like all of the cuts in that tab. The key thing is to get glue right up to the edge there, and then just kind of be quite liberal with the glue over the rest of them. So I've put glue all the way around, but you might decide you don't want to do it like that. You might find it too messy, or, you know, it really depends on how long your glue takes to set. So mine gives me a little bit of time to work. So yeah, I'll leave that up to you. And then we're going to grab our sides. So I'm going to start with so piece number 3, this longer piece, not the shorter piece. And I am going to kind of offer it up to the tabs there, and just stick the tabs down. So just curling as you go. So the side is sitting flat against that mat. So it'll be really well aligned. Let's soften them up. And some, you can see this, some will stick better than others, but don't worry about that too much. Just so long as you're kind of getting some of them to stick to the side there. You can see what I'm doing here. And then we're going to get to the other end here. I'll just bring that bit in. So it's up to you. You can tuck this inside, right? Actually, I've started kind of mid-tab, you can see there. So I should probably have started actually on a tab. So then I would have had the decision about whether I tuck it inside or outside. It probably would have looked a bit nicer if it was tucked in inside. So I might actually make a cut through that tab. So then I can actually tuck this piece inside like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that piece on the end there. And also a little bit on the end of this one, so it's right on the edge. Tucking that back in again. Just hold that in place for a little while, let that dry. Okay, and then we're going to go back inside with the glue. So those bits that are sticking up, we can kind of poke some more glue underneath them, but we're also going to put a really good coating of glue over the top of them as well. So yeah, I'll be really generous with the glue at this stage, all over them, and some of it will seep underneath as well. That's it. So when you've put some glue over all the pieces, you can start to fold in these sides. So you want to start with the smallest piece. Just ease that into place. And push it down at the bottom. So it sticks to all that glue. There we are. And then we're going to work our way around. So we're going to just fold in the next one. Bit awkward, that one, because it's going round a bend there, but it'll be all right. There we go. Smoothing that in. And put a little bit of glue on that join there. There we go. I'll do this one before I put it down. So just a bit of glue that end and a bit of glue this end. And I'm going to put that down as well. Yeah, and then when you've kind of patted it into place, you can just run your finger along all of those joins just to make sure everything's really stuck well. There we are, that's the top of our box. And then finally, we've got a piece to line it with. So we want one of these pieces for that. And we want the bigger of the two. So one's just slightly bigger than the other. And yeah, that's it, so that big one. And I'm going to put some ink around the edge of that as well. So it's going to go in there. So I'm just going to put some glue around the edges and a little bit in the middle. Hold it down. At this stage you could, so we have a pocket, so that's going to sit right on the bottom of our egg there. It's a kind of hidden pocket. So I'm going to put some ink around the bottom of that, around the egg shape. And then it's up to you whether you put any at the top as well. So if you want it to be very hidden, then don't put any ink on it. But if you want it to be a bit more visible, you can put some over there. So I'm just going to leave mine uninked. And then I'm going to put some glue right around the egg shape. Just stick that in place. It's all lined up. Secret pocket. And I'm just going to put that inside, or making sure that's up the right way, which it isn't, no. So I want them both up the right way. And then just stick that into place. Like that. Go. So now we just need to make up the bottom of the box in the same way. So we'll start by making our score lines. So we need our 3 sides again. So scoring down the middle again for each of those. And then I'm going to fold them and then just run the bone folder over them. Go. And then we're going to do the same again and fold them. But we need to know which way to fold them. So I think what we're going to do, I'll stick them first and then that'll be easier. So I'm going to straighten them out again. So we need piece 1, which is going to fit to piece 2 there. So again, only ink on that top tab. Sorry, glue on the top tab. And then I'm going to do the same. So glue over that tab. And with our third piece, it doesn't matter which way up it goes. So they're the same top and bottom. So I can just place there. There we go. I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit before we curve it. And then, so again, this one needs scoring as we did the top, right round the egg shape again. And once we've done that, I'm going to flip it over and put up some more ink. On the back, so just where the line is again. And then I'm going to turn it over and make our 4 cuts into each of the tabs again. So, this is a bit of a faff, this cutting, but it's a bit like the principle if you ever do dressmaking, if you're sewing a curved line where you have to cut into the fabric so you can bend better. It's that same kind of principle. There we are, and then just going to fold those in along the line there. There we are, and then a bit more ink around the edges. And then I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so hopefully this one's nice and dry now. Looks all right. So I'm going to fold them up all the way along. And then I'm going to put the curve in it. So again, I'm just going to hold it down with a bone folder on the mat and then just pull it towards me, which will give us a bit of a curve. And I'm working on the side that's not stuck down. So just be careful to kind of hold on to those bits while you're pulling so you don't get any tears anywhere. And that one as well. There we are, so a bit of a curve going on there. Right, so let's stick it together again. So as I did before, I'm going to put glue over all of my tabs, right up to the edges there, and then all over the tabs. Okay, so I'm going to take the sides again, and I'm just going to start. So I'm starting with the long edge, not the short edge again, and then just attaching it to some of these tabs. Okay, so again, the side is sitting on the mat, and then you're kind of allowing it to kind of stick as it goes. Okay, and so I've reached the other end again, and I'm going to try and tuck that one also inside. So this bit I'm going to tuck inside. So I'm going to put some glue along this edge here, and then bring this one inside like that. So I'm just going to hold that again for a minute. Stuck reasonably well. Right, and then so I'm going to again go in and put glue all over the tabs, kind of some underneath and lots on top. That's it. And then before I stick the sides down this time, I'm going to remember to put some glue along the edge. So I'm starting again with the little one, little bit of glue on that end, and then another one here on that tab end. And then I'm just going to pull that down. And pat it into place. There we go. And then you're going to work your way round to the next one. So again, a bit of glue on that end, some on this end. Just they're not sticking up too much or anything. And then this final one, so some glue again, both ends. Take that down. It's a little bit like you're mashing these sides when you're trying to tuck them inside, but it does all work out if you're kind of reasonably gentle. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to smooth it again from the inside. And then we also have an insert for this one as well. So again, making sure it's up the right way. I'm just going to stick that inside. So glue around the edges. I'm going to stick that in. There we are. So that's the bottom, that's the top, and now's the moment to see whether it all goes together. And it does, hooray! There we go. So, again, I think I forgot to put some ink around that edge, but I think you can do it afterwards and it'll be fine. That all looks okay. Again, I forgot to put any ink around there, but if you wanted it, I mean, it fits quite flushly, so it's not really much of a problem, but yeah, you might want some ink around there. So all there is to do now is to make something to go in our secret pocket. So we have an envelope here, and And it's going to be an envelope with a little closure, so we can put some stuff inside. So first thing I'm going to do is score some lines. So on these tabs, just along those lines there. And then you want a line here, along that line where the two pictures are, or the two pictures join. And then we just want one line here between these egg images. That. I'm going to fold that in and back on itself. And I'm going to put glue over this section. Oh, getting a bit low on glue now. So right up to the edge, this one. And I'm just going to fold that in. That, just check, see if we've got any overhang, which is quite likely. So I'm just going to trim that off there. Okay, and then I'm going to score along this line. That, and then just fold that in on itself. And you can run over that with your bone folder. I think I did that very straight. Hopefully yours will be straighter. And then these two need to come in as well, these two tabs. And I'm going to put some glue on those. And then just fold that over. Oh. Should have folded that first. There we are. A bit of give. Just line that up, those two images up. There we go. And then I didn't fold that very well. It's not a great fit there, but anyway. There we go. And then we're going to have a little closure here. So we have this egg shape and this egg shape. And I'm going to use a tiny little brad for this. I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on the eggs. And then I'm going to put the two together so that that decorated egg is kind of centrally placed on the egg below. And then roughly in the middle, I'm going to make a hole. So I'm going through both bits at the same time, like that. And then I'm going to put the brad through there. Separate them a little bit because we don't want them to be too tight. And then I'm going to open the brad up. Like that. And then I'm going to stick it there. So it's up to you. You could have it over here if you wanted to. But I'm going to put it on the flap there. So a bit more glue. So that's going to go over the brad. And right up to the edge on this piece. So a lot of glue again, be really quite generous with it there. And then I'm just going to stick that to the flap of the envelope. And when that's dry, we can just put a little bit of string or something around that to keep it in place. And then we can put our ephemera in there. I think this is my favourite, this rabbit. It looks a bit like a sheep in a woolly coat. And we've got more rabbits and chicks. And yeah, rabbits and chicks. Lots of rabbits and chicks. So I'm going to put some of those in there. I'm going to put these little bits. Tuck them inside. And then if our closure is dry enough, I'll probably leave yours a bit longer. But I'm just going to wrap. This is actually a piece of embroidery floss. Just going to wrap that round. So you can put a knot in it if you want, but I don't know if it really needs it. And then I'm just going to wrap it around again. And let those two bits dangle. There we are, a little pocket. Cut them off. So you can sit in there, and then I'm going to tuck those behind as well. So a nice little surprise when you open your box. And so that is it. That is our egg box. So I really hope you have fun with it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.